Water districts need long-range planning. 5 years is not enough. You need to look out 50 or even 100 years and say, where do we need to be?
The district is familiar with taking on large projects, thinking ahead, beginning to make those investments before the need is urgent, because with large-scale regional water infrastructure, that's when you have to make that commitment, to take that leap, to dive into it.
Utah County would not be what it is today without the CWP system.
When we developed the project, there was no demand out there, but we knew that it would come. If you looked out on the future, growth was across the lake. Lehigh, Saratoga Springs, Eagle Mountain, and those communities.
The groundwater in those areas is brackish, doesn't taste good, takes a lot of treatment. Their natural sources are very limited. Without the CWP, they wouldn't be able to sustain the growth that they've had.
Before World War II, the U.S. recognized they had a shortage of steel production, and Utah was an ideal location. Geneva was a war supply steel mill during the war. After the war, U.S. Steel purchased the plant, operated for over 50 years, producing steel plate. Eventually, Geneva Steel declared bankruptcy. Court required them to liquidate all of their assets. At that time, they had land, they had all of the scrap from the plant itself, and they had a very valuable resource called water.
This was an opportunity to purchase water rights that then could be combined with the resources of the Central Utah Water Conservancy District.
Freeing up that huge block of water, which now is all drinking water.
It's a large chunk of water. It was nearly 50,000 acre-feet of water, which would serve over 250,000 people.
Our district board supported buying over $80 million worth of water rights without a plan or without the customers for sure in place.
Famously, you talk about selling water in a desert, you'll find a customer, but it was still a massive outlay of resources and also commitment to be able to connect where that source is with our existing supplies, and then also where our customers are throughout North Utah County and even into South Salt Lake County.
Central Utah Water Conservancy District came in and purchased the water rights associated with Geneva Steel. We capped and abandoned all of their wells that they had here on site and proceeded to develop that substantial amount of groundwater.
We developed a system called the Central Utah Water Conservancy District Water Development Project. We call it the CWP, and that takes water from both the Don A. Christiansen Water Treatment Plant and well water that was native to Geneva, blends it, takes it in a 5-foot diameter pipe out to those communities and serves them.
The wells that we've been developing over the last decade has been the workhorse to supply the CWP system. Large drinking water wells, 24-inch diameter cases, upwards of 1,500 feet deep. We're talking close to $1 billion worth of infrastructure. There had to be customers bought into the project in order to start such a big project. And that required a lot of foresight to go out and sell that vision to customer agencies.
It was proposed that we set up take or pay contracts where the cities would sign up that, yeah, we're gonna take the water and we'll take it on an implementation schedule. They'll step into their allotments, some each year.
That's a balancing act because we need to be able to pay that off within a reasonable time period, but make it cheap enough that cities could afford it.
With the bonds secured by contracts, it allowed the district to start building, designing, and providing the water to come online. The communities didn't have to pay for anything until they started getting deliveries.
CWP is a great example of what can be done if we coordinate between the district and the municipalities.
It was a regional project that used local water to supply communities that were still really in their infancy and developing. But because of that, the economic growth that Utah has experienced was not impeded. We always want to be able to have the water available before it's needed.
Without the CWP, I don't know, the Eagle Mountain, Saratoga Springs, even Lehigh probably don't exist the way they do today without that.
The CWP allows them to supply the growth that's occurred out there.
And then when we look going forward, because this growth isn't stopping anytime soon, CWP will continue to fill that role.
There's an effort ongoing right now for master planning for northern Utah County through 2100, and I see the CWP system being a major part of that master plan to help facilitate continued growth here within Utah County.
The CWP really provides resiliency and redundancy and a reliable water source for the communities to be able to grow and build out their future.
The CWP is more than pipes and pumps. It's a promise to the future. The Central Water Project is foundational for the future of North Utah County. It's for every home, every school, and every job. We are planning for the year 2100 and beyond. Whatever tomorrow looks like, it'll be built on this foundation.